Alright, so what's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and for this one I'm gonna just get straight into it because I know exactly what you guys came here for. And the title, it says 30 new badges we know will be in 2K20. Now I'm gonna just get right into it. Operation Sports, they literally made a whole page about all the new badges that we know that will be in 2K20 so far. And the only reason they know this is because Mike Wang did tweet out mostly, not all the badges, because there will be 80 plus badges, but he tweeted out a decent amount of badges, and this is all that we know so far. And I'm gonna put everything on the screen right here so you guys know I'm not bullshitting you guys or anything like that. But the first badge I do want to talk about is a quick first step badge, and this is literally similar to speed boosting, except they're not going to call it speed boosting in 2K20 obviously. So let's say you caught the ball. As soon as you catch the ball and you drove to the basket, that's what a quick first step is. If you can do that really fast in real life, that means you have a quick first step. So in the video game, they basically called that a quick first step badge. So that is similar to speed boosting, and it doesn't even have to be after you catch the ball. Like I said, it is similar to speed boosting. So however you speed boost in 2K19, that's what the badge helps you with. So it basically makes you faster than your defender, if that makes sense. So the second badge I want to talk about that is new is called the Giant Slayer badge, and this is pretty straightforward. It just helps smaller players score at the rim. You can see the tweet on the screen. So if you equip this badge and you're a point guard that's like 5'8" or like 5'7", it helps you score at the rim. And I don't know, like let's say you have the acrobatic badge as well, because that will return in 2K20. Let's say you have that. That should boost your overall rating when you drive to the basket to at least an 85 plus, because if you have acrobatic, that means you can do a reverse layup, you can do all types of layups. And then on top of that, you have Giant Slayer, which helps smaller players score at the rim. So if you just combine those two, you'll literally be a lethal ass midget going to the basket. Like, that's kind of tough. So that's another new badge right there. Our third badge is called Volume Shooter. Now, I don't even know if this was in 2K19 or not, because if it was, I personally did not have it. But this is making a return to 2K20, and basically what it does is it boosts your ratings if you can maintain your field goal attempts per minute. So the more you shoot the ball, that's basically what the badge helps with. It doesn't really matter if you make the shot or not, but you just have to shoot the ball a lot. And like it says, it's field goal attempts per minute. So keep shooting the ball, and I think it'll boost your rating. Personally, I don't know exactly what it does, but that's all the information he gave us in that tweet right there. So anything other than that, that's all we know that it does for 2K20. It might be the same as it used to be when we did have it. Like I said, I don't even know if it's in 2K19, but it also might be an even better version of it in 2K20. So we'll see where it goes from there. But there's also there's a bunch of badges I'm just going to cover in this video that I know is confirmed. So the next badge is Slippery Off-Ball badge. This gives more success with the new off-ball juke moves and helps to get open. So that's pretty common sense. That's why it's called Slippery Off-Ball badge. So let's say you don't have the ball and you're like a shooting guard and the point guard has the ball. You can run out to the perimeter and then I guess juke your defender and then slip to the basket faster than your defender does. So it just basically helps you get open. Like, it's easier for you to get open, in other words. So that's another badge right there. Another badge is called Clamps, and this is for perimeter lockdown defenders, and it just helps them defend on the perimeter. And then there's a post move lockdown badge, and this is for paint defenders, and it helps them defend in the paint. So those are pretty straightforward right there. There's also a badge called Deep Hooks, and this is the Kareem badge. And if you guys don't know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is, he is the guy who's known for the famous hook shots. So if you're a post scorer, and I don't know if only post scorers can have this, but I'm just using them as an example. If you're a post scorer and one of your lethal moves is a hook shot and you master it and you actually have that badge, it's going to boost your ability to make that even more. So that's what that badge does right there. There's also another badge called Space Creator, and that affects step backs. And let's say you're in the paint. Once again, I'm using it as an example. You're a big man and you're in the paint and you want to do like a hot post move, and then, or it doesn't even have to be that. Let's just say you're actually a shot creator and you want to do a step back. That helps you create space from your defender, and it gives you a higher percentage of making that step back, because that's what the badge is for. That's why it's called Space Creator. It gives you a higher percentage off step backs. So that's a better example than using the post example. And there's also a badge called the rebound chaser, and that's pretty straightforward as well. It just helps chase down long rebounds. So if you shoot a three-pointer and it hits the front of the rim, then bounces all the way to the other side of the court, and you have rebound chaser, basically it'll just give you a better chance of getting that rebound. I don't know if it makes your player faster or anything like that, but it just gives you a higher chance of getting it. So that's what that badge does right there. There's another badge called worm and box, and the worm just helps you get around box outs, and then the box badge makes it tougher for worms. So I guess it's like a counterfeit for that badge. And then contact finisher is another badge. That's pretty straightforward as well. It just helps dunkers posterize people and help smaller players finish near the rim. Now, they did decide to have this badge instead of posterizer only because they want this badge to fit smaller defenders as well, and smaller defenders really can't equip posterizer. Let's say you're a point guard and your main position isn't a slasher, but you're able to equip contact finisher, but in 2K19 you weren't able to equip posterizer, so they just made it into one badge, which is called contact finisher, and it just helps smaller players finish near the rim and help dunkers posterize people. So that's basically what that is right there. And then there's a badge called microwave, and you guys already know what that is. And if you don't, basically it just gives you a boost to your jump shot after you make your first one. So let's say you just got in the game and then you hit your first jumper, and then after you hit your first jumper, the microwave badge does come on, and then you get a boost to your jump shot. So that's basically what it does. There's another badge also called fancy footwork, and this helps you get past defenders. So if you have that badge with the quick first step badge, it'll be lethal as hell, and you'll probably break ankles and then get past your defender fast as shit. So those badges probably go hand in hand. And then there's also a badge called acrobat, and you guys already know what that is. We've had that before. So if you wanted to drive to the basket, you can do a reverse layup. It gives you a higher percentage of making that reverse layup if you have the acrobat badge. So it just makes it easier to make tougher layups, if that makes sense. And then there's also a badge called needle threader, and that's basically you're able to make tighter passes. So that correlates with dimer only because dimer, let's say you were driving to the basket and then your teammate was cutting to the basket and you made a nice ass like behind the back pass. That's what dimer does. But needle threader, my example I'm going to use is if you're on a fast break and then you like do a bounce pass to your teammate that's cutting to the basket and it goes through like a defender's legs or something like that. That's a needle threader. That's what that badge does. So it just gives you the ability to make tight passes, and that's really all it is. And then there's another badge called Relentless Finisher, and that was already in 2K, and that just helps you score when you're tired. And then Contact Finisher is a new badge, and that boosts your ability to hit shots in the paint, which is actually really interesting. I don't know why they added this badge, because I feel like, in my opinion, it's going to be OP if you have it, and people are just going to complain about it. But they already have it in the game, so in my opinion, over 1 billion other people is going to be irrelevant. So that's in the game as well. There's also a badge called Dimer. We already know what that is. It's just like Needle Threader. And also, if you do have Dimer and if you give it to your teammate and get that assist, it gives them a boost to their jump shot once you pass them the ball. So a lot of you guys already know what Dimer is. When you pass your teammate the ball, when you have Dimer activated, it gives them a boost to their jump shot. So just keep that in mind as well for those of you guys who didn't know or are new to the game. That's what Dimer does. And then there's another badge called Flashy Passer, and that's pretty self-explanatory. It gives you the ability to make flashy passes, so behind the back passes, nice ass bounce passes, under the leg passes, all those type of flashy passes, an elbow pass, which is actually really rare, but all those type of flashy passes, that's what the badge helps with. Then there's a badge called Dead Eye badge, and you guys know what that is. Let's just say your defender closes out on you late. It gives you a higher percentage of making that shot even if it's contested. So that's what that Deadeye badge does, and it is basically combined into one badge. Now in previous 2Ks, there was a long range Deadeye, like a deep range Deadeye, and then there was like a closer range Deadeye, and then in 2K20 it's all combined in one badge. So it gives you a higher chance of making those contested jump shots at any range. So once you get this badge, you're gonna be a lethal ass shooter. So I'm actually hyped for that because all my players in every single 2K were shooters. And sometimes I did have dribbling players, but mostly they were shooters. So I'm actually going to enjoy that badge a lot. But once you get that badge, you're gonna be lethal as hell. Just keep that in mind. There's also an interceptor badge, and I think that basically correlates with pickpocket, and that's not going to be a badge in 2K20 that we know of so far. So that's what the interceptor badge is. Gives you the ability to steal passes better, pickpocket people, and it's pretty self-explanatory with that badge as well. There's also a new badge called Deep Phase, and that gives you the ability to hit fadeaways from deep. So let's say you're Dirk Nowitzki and you're at the free throw line, or you play like Dirk Nowitzki and you're at the free throw line and you hit that fadeaway. The Deep Phase badge gives you a higher chance of making that fadeaway basically. And then the last badge I want to talk about is the tireless shooter badge, and this basically is you shoot good when you're tired. So that's pretty self-explanatory as well. The tireless shooter, once you get that badge and then you get the deep range dead eye badge, that's gonna be lethal as hell, bruh. Some of these builds I already know are gonna be overpowered, especially once you get the good, like the badges it can actually get. Once you get all those badges and you're a high overall, you're gonna be lethal as hell. And I'm just saying that, but like honestly I don't know, but from reading all of these badges, you're just gonna be lethal as shit once you get all the badges. Once you reach the full potential that your player can get, this game is gonna be crazy. But those are all the new badges we know of so far. Some of them aren't new, but some of them are returning from previous 2Ks. But some of them are actually gonna go crazy. I'm actually really hyped for that. So for those of you guys who are planning on making a nice ass build, just keep in mind we have 50 more badges to go. That was around 27, 28 badges I was just talking about. We have so many more badges to go. So just imagine all those creative badges that we don't know about. That shit's gonna be crazy once they release all that information. But this video is really long right now, so I just wanted to get to the point, and it ended up being 12 minutes long, so I'm sorry for that. But that's all I have for you guys with this video. So if you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll also put the Operation Sports blog in the description below. Even though I put it on the screen, some of you guys might want to like clarify it or something like that, so I'm gonna just put it in the description below. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys with this one, and I'm out. Peace.